Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another TheeSportsScoop video. Scouting reports in July. We did Derek Stingley, and we're back now with another defensive player. We haven't done any offensive players, which is actually surprising yet. But we're doing Oregon edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeaux, and by my side, again, it is not a TheeSportsScoop member, but it's better. It's Nick Merriam, Boom or Bust, the draft show. We had Max Chadwick, his other host, on for the Stingley one. If you obviously guys saw that, it's a great time. We're going to be talking about what we like, player comparisons, everything that, breaking down the 2022 prospect. Probably maybe a little bit too early, but it's fun. Why not?
Never too early. Never too
yeah,
early.
Never too early. Exactly. Never, especially for you guys, never too early. As always, do make sure to subscribe. If you guys are new, comment down below. Do make sure to go check them out on social media as well, on YouTube, their main platform, and their podcast. Everything they drop. Great scouting reports. Further ado, let's get into the scouting report. Then our intro. All right, so let's get into like we did for Derek Stingley, kind of background. So let's give some background. The beast from the trenches, 6'5", 250. Obviously, what pops out about this edge rusher, someone who has that size, obviously has that weight. And when you look at him, he's a big guy. He's not some skinny edge rusher. Just like Stingley, just like one of the other top defense prospects, 5-star out of high school, #1 edge rusher, and really prove that. Had that pedigree going into college and really prove that, especially in his freshman year. So in 20 games for Oregon, combining his 2019 and 2020 season, 2020 he played 7 games. I believe 2019 he played 13. So obviously really similar to Stingley. It was his freshman year was his better year. And in 20 games, 77 tackles, 11 sacks, 23.5 tackles for loss. He was dominant. And again, like we said, in his freshman year, obviously when COVID hit, they didn't get to play their full season. So obviously numbers are not going to be as good. But he was a fantastic player. Really, especially his freshman year, first team All-American, Pac-12, the first team All-Pac-12, obviously. He was a fantastic player for Oregon and really is someone who this year's, like Stingley, is going to be a big year, obviously, for his draft stock. But, Nick, now getting to the part that we're in, what do you like? What do you like about Kayvon Thibodeaux? What are the strengths of potentially the #1 prospect going to 2022?
Well, you mentioned it before. The pedigree thing is the fact he comes in as a 5-star. He's #2 overall recruit. Sorry.
Right.
You see a lot of these guys out on the West Coast nowadays. We've seen this with the past 2 big SoCal QBs, and Bryce Young and CJ Stroud have gone east. They've come to Ohio State. They've come to Alabama. He stays in Oregon, a school that's had offensive firepower in past years. They've turned out some defensive players, but you're not necessarily going to Oregon for
right.
Its excellent defensive coaching, right?
And and that's what something that popped out about is why was it Oregon, right?
Yeah. And then he goes there and he produces anyways, right off the bat. And it's because he, in high school, is one of these guys who stood out because of physical traits. And those are the things that, at a high school level, I like to say this, the guys don't like it when I say it, but high school football, it's kind of a crapshoot.
It is.
You don't really know what's going on. So you just kind of look for the guys who are really athletic. His athletic ability really popped more than most in high school, and it continues to in college, even if there are some of those things that he needs to develop still going forward. But, he's 6'5", 250. He's not huge, right? He's not like the 265, 275 pound rusher who has mobility, but he still finds ways to get power into his game. Even though I believe he's a speed first rusher, he does have the ability to win both those ways. It's just about the refinement, using that a little bit better, figuring out how to kind of get a little more intricate with those 2 skill sets. And I think along with that, he knows how to use his athleticism. He plays such high effort. He's the guy running across the field at the end of plays to make plays that most guys aren't doing. It's the thing you saw with Chase Young a lot when he was coming out. He would chase down tackles on the back end, all the way around the field. Right. He does that too. And it's just kind of that drive and all those traits put together. There's no way that with that production we saw year 1, double-digit sacks as a freshman, not maybe in the best situation, although Oregon is a good team, he's already set himself up to be drafted highly.
Yeah. No, I mean, you said it. There's several things. I mean, motor, speed, power. Look, someone finally, last year the edge class wasn't great. I mean, you were looking at an edge rusher or edge rushing class that it was like, yeah, it was arguable who the top dog was, and now I think we know it is Kayvon Thibodeaux, and assuming his season plans out, he will be that top guy, and really the guy we've wanted since, you said, Chase Young, obviously 2 years ago. And to me, watching tape, it's size, speed, and athleticism, but also, like you said, refinement of that needs to be he needs to refine that, especially going to this season, but it's that size, speed, and athleticism that he can use, and something it's just what do the best edge rusher in the NFL have? They have all that and the ability to balance that and use that to their advantage. First, what I love about him, what I love about edge rushers, what I really look in edge rushers is that first step. He is really, really, really fast off that first step. Something we saw used to advantage, especially against Elijah Vera Tucker and Austin Jackson against USC. Tape that was fantastic, and we know how good Vera Tucker was. And we have a Jets fan on our channel, and they traded up for him. So seeing someone who dominated against him and was one of the most versatile offensive linemen going into this year's draft, it just showed, again, pedigree. He's played against the guys who have now gone and taken that step. And again, like you said, motor, looking at the tape, he doesn't give up. He's always going to the quarterback when they have the ball. I like him a lot. Again, what I've said is, and when we go into player comp, you can't really compare him to the top guys right now because he is kind of raw. Not like that Rousseau raw where it's like really raw, but, again, this season is going to be, all right, we're going to know a lot more, obviously, after he plays. But I think he's fantastic. I'm really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, he's not quite. He's better than Rousseau.
He's definitely better. I'm saying in terms of just like raw, obviously better. Right.
The Rousseau thing last year was kind of funny. It was just that was purely off of his sack numbers, and he kind of had the length, and that was it. Kayvon, he's winning on his own. He doesn't need 3 other really good pass rushers on his D line like Miami had to make it work.
Right.
But it's, we talk about when you're teaching edge rushers, a lot of these guys start boxing or start doing martial arts, stuff like that. Because, Chandler Jones' brother, I forget his first name, is actually a UFC fighter.
Oh, my God. I didn't even know that. You're right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But, a lot of these pass rush moves are about, reading, reacting to what an offensive lineman does, looking at their stance before the snap, looking at spacing between them and whatever guard. If he's pass rushing, I'm assuming it's going to be on the right side because he's against the left tackle.
Yeah, he's usually blindsided of a right-sided quarterback. Right.
Then, it's going to be about spacing to the left, and then can, you attack with speed if he's giving too much space to one side or the other, and then how to use your hands to counter or bend or, pin a shoulder. And it's not, not every guy uses every single move, but it's about knowing what your skills are and then finding the move that works best for you as a counter move. And for him, that's his step this year that he needs to take. Chandler Jones is a guy who didn't really have, he's not flashy in terms of speed or power, but he learned all the moves. Kayvon, he's in the same spot where if he develops those moves, he could really, really jump up in terms of production, both college and the NFL level. But the only thing that's limiting is I don't quite think he is a Chase Young athlete, but he's still a very, very good athlete for an edge rushing prospect.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because, when I first was looking at Thibodeaux, I was like, okay, he's going to be the Chase Young, he's going to be the Myles Garrett. And then, look at he's like, okay, he probably isn't going to be. But again, he hasn't had that season before he's drafted. So like I've said with Stingley, it's pivotal. It's very, very important to see how he will do this season. And
he could
right,
pop,
exactly. And he could pop and be like,
Chase
okay,
Young.
He is Chase Young. He is the, I mean, who knows, maybe he becomes better. I don't know. I mean, depending on the coaching. I always set high expectations, but we'll see what he can do. And then as well, something I really like about him and something that you see in little bits is play recognition. You saw him against Auburn, very good at reading when the quarterback's doing a PA, RPO, whatever it is, being able, and really it shows, Chase Young did against the Eagles where Hurts was, going to hand it off to, I forgot what the running back was. And, he noticed that it was an RPO and went right at Hurts and got the sack. You're looking at, again, refining that game to become the top dog. And I really like it. Again, there was some punt fake that I think it was against Nevada, a punt fake. And he, he's good. He has that play recognition that, again, top edge rushers have. It's about, can you get past the guy? And then, even in those type of plays where maybe that tackle's pulling to the right and pushing that side, if you can get around that edge and recognize what play's happening, I think he has a ton of potential. And I know we've been saying that a lot, but I think there's a lot there for an edge rusher to really take that step with Oregon this year.
I completely agree. The only thing I want to add with that is, he has the recognition, but he has the instincts too. And I think people don't usually talk about the difference between those two, but it's kind of like feel versus vision. You can either read and react, see things, but he has an innate ability to just get to places before things even develop. It's an anticipation thing.
Right.
Sometimes even when he's supposed to be getting the outs, protect the outside, contain in, he still slides in because he knows the run's coming inside and makes a tackle. And that's special.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's a much difference between knowing a play's happening and then actually going and making the play to stop that. And that's what I completely agree. Looking at a lot of his tape, he knew when to set the edge and then when to go inside and get to the running back or get to the quarterback. So I think, again, we're looking at a star, a potential star here. And I think we know that. And again, not only that, he has the age, will be 21 when drafted, and he has the accessories, has the arm thing, he has the sleeve, he has the what you need to look like to be a great edge rusher. So, that'll do it for strengths. But player comparison, I saw yours. Is it the same? I'm assuming it is. But what is your player comparison for Kayvon Thibodeaux?
I'm kind of sticking with it. I don't think he's like a bad run defender, but I don't think it's like he's not the best run defender.
Right.
Like. So I said Brian Burns because I do think he is a speed rush first guy, and I think he has really good bend when he wins with speed, and that's going to be, I think, what he tries to counter off of his ability just to blow past. You talked about his first step, excellent first step. He can just blow past tackles, and we're seeing more and more of these bigger tackles have trouble sliding. So the way the NFL is adapting to that is just get a fast guy, put him against attack and slide, you just beat him. But he's not huge, 250 is, about where you like need to be to play edge in the NFL. I guess you could be lighter, but if you were any lighter than 250, people would call you an
outside linebacker. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know if he's going to put on weight or if that's what he's going to play at, but if he plays at that weight, it's going to be a speed first thing, because there will be times in the NFL where if you go up against a guy like Trent Williams, who's 320 and just really powerful, you can get overpowered, and that guy can move too. So, that would be my one concern for him, is I don't think he's not going to be, Carlos Basham. He's not going to be just completely overpowering tackles unless it's like a really bad tackle. But his better quality is his speed. He has good power for his size, but I don't think he's big enough quite yet to really overpower some of the league's best tackles the next level.
Yeah, I had a very, very hard time finding a comparison, because I can't just go like, oh yeah, top guys. And Brian Burns was big one because speed, and this one is a very outside one. I kind of saw a tiny bit of Everson Griffin, but again, Everson kind of uses probably a bit more power and he's more heavier and not as tall. So for me, it was really, but in terms, ran a 4.46 out of college, has that speed. Obviously now he's older, so doesn't have that. But, again, looking at, his younger days when he was really good on the Vikings, you see a little bit of speed there. But again, a comparison I think will start to show again as we see him play throughout the season. But is there a team fit for you? You can take into comparison where he will be drafted high, or just what's a team you would like to see him on?
So I've got him like 6th on my board right now, which is a little lower than most people. I still think he's great. He's a blue chip for me. I just I have Stingley and Hamilton over him. The two are two top QBs. And then I have one other quarterback who I'm in love with, which is Matt Corral. I think he's so good.
That's gonna be coming up. I think I have 6. I think I have Rattler 1. Then I think I have Stingley, and then I think I have Thibodeaux, then Howell. But I have to update that one. I think I have Olave like way too high, so I need to edit that. I need to break it down. But
some people have Howell a little lower, which I understand.
Right.
There, but
I just see Baker. We'll talk about it later.
If you look at our channel later, we'll be talking about Matt.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we like Matt Corral. But so I think he's going high first round. He could go above Stingley or Hamilton, and I don't think it's a bad pick. Like if you need an edge rusher, I don't think he's decidedly worse than those players. And I think the other two are just rarer talents than Thibodeaux. But when we talk about teams, I think to be picking highly. So this is kind of funny. I'm going to get at Max a little bit here. I don't think the Steelers are going to be good this year.
Right, and I do exact same in our channel. Another one, Dylan, does not think they will be either.
And I think if they're picking high in this draft, I would love so much if the Steelers took him to play bookend with TJ Watt. I know they just signed Melvin Ingram. I don't know if it's a 1-year deal.
1-year deal, yeah.
Yeah. So
and he's older,
that'd be a dream to have Thibodeaux and TJ Watt on opposite ends. That'd be fantastic.
I mean, I'm sure Maxwell couldn't be too mad about that.
He probably wants a QB, honestly. But...
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, gosh.
But, I mean,
Haskins would give me here.
Yeah, Haskins will do it, yeah.
Yeah, Haskins will do fine. So my team fit, I was writing, and then I just left it blank because I really don't know. For me, it's if the Jaguars are somehow good and Kayvon Thibodeaux doesn't have a good second year, then maybe. But Chaison's kind of more of an outside linebacker. This one's tough. Again, I don't see the Lions not taking a quarterback because their quarterback's Jared Goff. I like the Steelers a lot, just defense. That would be phenomenal to watch. I'm just trying to think. I mean, the Texans, there's no way you're taking that edge rusher because you need someone of more value. I don't know. I love the Giants. Who knows? We have 2 picks, so maybe we get him. But I would say, like you said, who needs an edge rusher or a team that has a decent amount of talent who kind of is just going to take the best player available, then Thibodeaux could be that option there. But
I think this, and we've talked about this off camera before we record our episodes. I'm so fascinated by this draft because I don't think that the QBs are going to be consensus at all. Like
exactly,
Rattler might be one, and then there's going to be like 5 guys who could go like, top 5 to like late first, second. And it's just like, do you like a quarterback? Yeah. Like, do you? I don't know. Yeah. Like, are you going to take one? If not, you could take Thibodeaux, but like.
Yeah, exactly. To me, this quarterback class like kind of reminds me of the edge class where it's like, there's like kind of one guy and then it's like, I have no clue. Like Malik Willis could be the QB. Like, we'll get into it. We'll be doing more scouting reports. You guys will. So we'll be on our game soon. But that was it for the episode. That was actually a decently short one. We broke that down very fast. So if you guys don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. But do make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications as well. Comment down below what you guys think about it. Nick, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
The second time talking about him, but I'm sure I hope you love it. I mean, but we will see you guys in the next episode as well. All of their links will be down below. Scouting reports come out for them as well. Go check out their Kayvon one. I'll have a card that pops up here. You can click that for more in-depth stuff. Tate's the last one we got to get on. So that one, I'll be getting contact with him soon. But Nick, I'm sure you'll be on soon enough. I'm sure Max will. PJ unfortunately can't.
We'll get him too.
We'll get him. We'll see. We'll get him in late July. I've been talking to him. He seems he's having fun in Detroit, even though at least he got some golf. Yeah. But we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.